Wakanda forever! What's up, guys? The Iron Mandalorian coming back at you with another vlog, and wouldn't you know it, I'm still here. Alright, it's been a little while since the last time I did a vlog for you guys, but I want to let you know that I'm still here with this new one. I hope you enjoyed my different intro. I know I usually say this is the way, because, you know, I'm a huge Star Wars fan, but given my shirt today and the soon-to-be arrival of the next Black Panther movie, Wakanda Forever, as I said in my intro, I thought it only fair to do a little bit of a different intro today as just a tribute to the dead king. R.I.P. Chadwick Boseman. We miss you, man. Anyway, guys, as I said, I am still here, and I am happy to be coming at you guys with another vlog. Today is going to be a little different. It's not going to be an entire vlog, but I think it's going to be a little bit of a shorter one. Just a little bit of a recap of what I've been doing for, you know, the past month or so. You know, it is now like, what is it, August 2nd, I think? Yeah, you know, new month. So, you know, not entirely last month, but, you know, close enough. Anyway, here's my helmet that I said in the intro. It is not the Marvel Legends one. I'm upset about that because, you know, obviously no lights and netting for eyes. So, you know, it's not the best one, but I would like to get the good one. Trust me, I would. But, you know, maybe someday. Anyway, so my past month has been insane. My life is crazy, and my summer schedule has been nuts. I think I said enough words to describe how my life has been. Anyway, guys, I have got so much going on right now, mainly with my job, because I have to, so where I work, they do a summer camp, and, you know, if you watched one of my past vlogs, my very first work vlog, when I was at the gym, I was there early in the morning for one of the summer camps that we do there, and lucky me, I get to coach I get to coach summer camp over the summer, and that means I have to get up really early. Not super early, like, you know, earlier than, you know, I have to get up, let me rephrase, later than what kids who go to public school wake up for, you know, because they wake up way earlier than I do, but I wake up early for me, that is. But, you know, I enjoy it. I get myself going in the morning, and I enjoy it. Here's another thing that's kind of new, you might have already guessed, but if you can't tell, oh, look at that. I am, so let me explain. When I was in Michigan, please, by the way, check out my Michigan vlogs because those were really fun. I literally just finished them up not too long ago. But while I was in Michigan, I was out in the middle of nowhere. And there's, first off, no internet connection out there except for in town. Again, check out the Michigan vlogs for more of an explanation. I didn't shave while I was out there. My face, that is. I didn't shave. And I started growing a beard when I was in Michigan. Because, you know, like, we were busy every day, and we're out in the middle of nowhere on vacation, so I don't really think about shaving that much. So when we got back home, I had to get up early the next day for camp. Well, for work. Not camp, just regular work. And I did not have enough time to shave, so when I was looking in the mirror, and I'm like, you know what? I'm 17 now. By the way, I am 17 now. Check out my birthday vlog, also in Michigan. Please check those out. They were so fun. I'm 17 now. Maybe it's time to start growing a beard. You know, not like all the way out here. You know, I'm not Fat Thor from Avengers Endgame, but you know, close enough. You know, well, not close enough. Just, you know, good enough. You know, to just get it recognizable. And, you know, it's interesting, some of my coworkers at the gym, they actually said I look good with it, and it also makes me look a little older, which, you know, the older part I can understand, and, you know, come on, I look good, obviously. Anyway, guys, that's just one of the changes that's been happening recently. Another one of the changes, changes that's been happening is my work schedule got a little shorter because I've had to cover the trampoline classes at my job for another one of my coworkers while she was out, and that part of my work schedule is finally over, and I'm honestly kind of happy about it because my work schedule just got a little less crazy. But, you know, it was fun. I enjoy teaching trampoline, but, you know, for me, given my past with being at the gym, working tumbling is really where it's at for me. You know, my other coworkers have admitted to me that I'm really, my best work area is tumbling, and rightly so, because that's kind of where my life has been at ever since I've been to the gym. You know, obviously I do boys gymnastics too, and that's not just tumbling, that's bars and vault and the pommel horse and rings. It's a bunch of different stuff. It's random. So, you know, I have fun though. You know, I've had to coach boys gymnastics a couple of times for one of my other coworkers, but mainly tumbling, and that's an official piece of my work schedule that hopefully will never change because I really love coaching tumbling. It's really fun for me. Anyway, I did not come here to talk to you guys about my job. Obviously, I hope you guys like hearing about it, and I hope it inspires you if you live nearby to maybe check out where I work. You know, get into the gymnast spirit yourself, I hope, you know. Because it's really fun there. It is. I've enjoyed it for as long as I've been there. I've honestly lost track of how long I've been there, so I care not to say. But I did not come here to talk to you guys about my job. I wanted to give you, like I said, a recap on what my last month has been. I have a compilation of some of my YouTube shorts that I've been doing. I'm pretty sure most of them were in Michigan, but, you know, there's not too many, but I hope to do more in the future. Maybe a few in my next upcoming event. You shall see that one when I'm ready to tell you about it. But anyway, other than a compilation of YouTube shorts of what I've been doing for the last couple of, well, not last couple of days, I wish, last month, I also have some new merchandise to show you guys, and I'm excited to show you that because I am so happy about a lot of the stuff I got and a lot of the stuff that I got done. So, I'm going to show that to you right now, and we'll get into those YouTube shorts in just a little bit. Oh my gosh, you guys, I totally forgot to tell you. Oh my gosh. It's going so fast. I forgot to tell you we must go through hyperspace before you see my new merch. It's in a galaxy very far, far away. Hold on, hold on. And behold, we've made it. So here it all is, and you know, I'm guessing you can probably tell we didn't really go through hyperspace. I thought that would just be kind of a fun little joke to do, because obviously, like I've said, I love Star Wars. So anyway, before we get to that stuff in the back there, you know, there's obviously you can see giant Grogu right there. We'll get to that later. First, we have kind of a new craze in my house now. So obviously these aren't Marvel characters or Star Wars characters. These are actually, if you couldn't guess, DC Comics characters. And I have been collecting them over the past couple of days now. And I've almost got my whole Justice League team complete, but we'll kind of go through them. So this one here first, this is the one that I wanted, like, a lot, and I'm so glad I got him. This is the Flash from the CW series, TV series of the Flash from Season 7. And look at, he's so cool, though. Like, I keep him on the stand because this is, like, the coolest pose you can get for him. He's so cool, though, because, like, on the stand, he's in a running position. But then he also has these accessories here. This is actually from, like, the final episode of Season 7, where they actually teased the Phantom Menace Star Wars Episode 1 lightsaber battle with Qui-Gon, Obi-Wan, and Darth Maul. Be sure to check that out, because it's actually really funny, but it's also really cool. Kind of like a nostalgia kind of thing. But, like, he's got, like, the little lightning lightsabers. That's what I call them. And he's got some lightning coming off of him here. This is really cool, though. I was so happy when he arrived. And here is one I definitely was not expecting to get. This is Dr. Fate. He's a little less known for a DC character, but basically he's a regular guy who found this helmet here, who has the consciousness trapped inside of it of kind of like an old superhero, like very powerful superhero. And when he puts the helmet on, that superhero takes over his body and becomes this guy. He's basically the Doctor Strange of DC, but he's really cool. I got all of these guys for a pretty decent price, and I was happy to get them. Now this one was very recent. This is Green Lantern, but obviously not the Green Lantern we're used to seeing. This is Green Lantern John Stewart. And the one we're used to seeing is Hal Jordan. And they did make a Green Lantern movie where Ryan Reynolds played John Stewart, but that movie got a really bad rap. And I don't know why, because I watched that movie recently, and it was pretty good. But this Green Lantern is a different one. He's not as showcased very much in the movies, more the comics and the shows. But this is Green Lantern John Stewart, and he, I think, is a bit more powerful than Hal Jordan. And I got him very recently. This is not the Green Lantern I wanted to get from my collection, but he's the second option that I had. And I was happy to find him because this was kind of on a whim, but I was happy to find him. So now here, after Green Lantern, which he's really cool, now we have Aquaman. And this is the Aquaman from the Justice League Snyder Cut movie, which that was a really good movie. It's weird though, people didn't like that one as much as the original that Zack Snyder didn't direct, which I don't understand. I don't like that. But anyway, here's Aquaman, and it's kind of funny. I call him the Aqua Jesus because, like, if you look at his head here, he doesn't look too much like Jason Momoa. He looks more like, well, Jesus or Samson, the really strong guy from the Bible, who gets his strength from his hair. But anyway, Aqua Jesus or Aquaman, whichever you prefer. He's really cool though. My favorite part is the armor because, like, they really could have done a less of a detailed job on this, but it definitely met my expectations. And the trident's really cool. The handle's kind of thick though, and the hands have a hard time gripping it, as you can probably see from like right there. But you know, I'm happy to have him because the other Aquaman that they make is really, really dorky looking. He's the old comic book version, and I really don't like him, so I was happy to get this guy. Now this one, please focus, is my camera's not focusing, guys. Sorry. This one was actually the first one that I got that kind of started the trend. This is Batman, obviously, but it's from the newest movie, The Batman. And this is not any of the actors that we've seen play Batman before. The most recent one before this one was Ben Affleck, and I still think he's my favorite Batman. But anyway, I can't remember the guy who plays this Batman. I can't remember his name, but I know he plays Cedric Diggory in Harry Potter, and I like him as an actor because I just think he does a really good job. Anyway, though, this Batman, he's really cool. I'm happy I got him. I could have gotten the one from Justice League, but I wanted this one instead. Plus, I got this one for a really good deal. Now, the only thing I don't like is he doesn't have enough weapons. The only thing he has is the grappling hook right here. Now, granted, that's kind of his main weapon in the movie that this Batman is from, but he does use his Batarang a couple of times, and I just wish they would have given him something other than the grappling hook, you know? But, you know, the costume design is really good. His eyes are looking towards this way, though, and I noticed that the second I got him. I don't know why they did that, but, you know, he should be looking straight ahead. But, like, he's still really cool, though, and I'm happy with him. Now, probably one of the greatest ones I have here in my collection as of yet, besides the Flash, is Superman. Now, this is the Superman specifically from the Justice League Snyder Cut movie, with the black and silver suit and not the red and blue one when he returns from, well, the dead. But he's really cool. He was, actually, I think I got him right after I got Batman. Like, it kind of built, the collection kind of built itself over time. But this is, like, the classic stance for the Superman, and I love how they give the flying characters, except for Green Lantern. I don't know why he got that stand. But for the flying guys, they get this transparent stand that lifts them up and holds them by the hips here, makes it look like they're flying. And with Superman, you know, it definitely does the job because this is really great, and I love it so much. Like, the detail is amazing. This is from, like, kind of a fancier brand of DC action figures. I think it's called McFarlane Toys or something like that. But, like, they do such a good job with these guys. And there's, like, a little peg here, right there, for him to stand on, you know, if I don't want him flying, which I've done that a couple of times now, but obviously I prefer him flying because, well, he's Superman. Now, the final one in my collection so far is Cyborg, obviously. Now, if you haven't guessed, I have more guys from the Justice League movie than other things, you know, because the ones I have from the Justice League movie are Aquaman, Cyborg, and Superman in the back there. Cyborg he's impressive. He is. I kind of wish he was a bit more improved, you know, maybe just a bit more detail, because, like, the face is so standard. I mean, like, it could have been better. But, like, he does have an alternate hand. I'm not going to go get it right now, because the pulse gun is obviously cooler. And I don't understand this, but the peg that goes through his foot to make him stand here, it does not go all the way through, and I don't know why. And so it makes it very hard to keep him from falling off the stand, you know, especially, like, if I lift him up like this. He's not going to do it now because he's been on the stand long enough, but it was kind of coming off the heel when I picked him up there. So I kind of just let him stay because, you know, it's a little fragile. But that's my collection, you guys. And Cyborg, he was a cool one. I was happy to get him because I had a hard time picking between him and Superman when I had the option to get one of the two of them. But obviously, Superman before Cyborg. No offense, Cyborg. I love him, but Superman is obviously just better. So now that we've moved away from the DC characters, now I'm going to show you some of the birthday presents that I got and some of the other things I've gotten that weren't for my birthday just because I got them because they were a good deal. Some of the newer stuff that I've gotten. I think, some is a little cooler than the DC guys, but I think the DC guys are still my favorite. So I think we should just start with the best here. I finished this recently. This is Boba Fett's palace. Technically Jabba's palace, but if you've watched the Book of Boba Fett yet, which if you haven't, shame on you, but if you have watched it, then you know that this is Boba Fett's palace now, and it's really cool. I've already taken a lot of my Star Wars characters and just put them in here because I finally have a base for my Star Wars guys. Like, I have the Millennium Falcon, but, it's not really a castle or a house or anything. So, the guys that did come with this originally are Boba Fett, Bib Fortuna, Fennec Shand, this guy, I don't know his name. I think he's like a bounty hunter or an assassin. I don't know. And then there's in here a Gamorrean guard, and that's about it. Oh, no, that's not it. All the way in the back there's one of the guys from Hondo's Pirate Crew. That's a Clone Wars reference. That's a bit of an older show, so if you haven't watched that, I wouldn't be too mad, but you should still check it out. Anyway, that's all the guys that did come with this originally. The rest of these guys are just ones from separate LEGO sets that I have. These two, Grogu and the Mandalorian, we'll get to their LEGO set in just a little bit. But this is really cool, and if you noticed, I got the Gamorrean guard kind of floating here, and that is because, let me see if I can get him around, I have Luke Skywalker. I finally have a Luke Skywalker from Return of the Jedi, so I can reenact the scene in Episode 6, Return of the Jedi, when Luke Skywalker comes into Jabba's palace and, well, attacks the Gamorrean guards. So anyway, as I said, the Gamorrean guard is being lifted up like he is in Return of the Jedi. So obviously, yeah, the Gamorrean guard is being lifted up like in Return of the Jedi. Over here, now the only thing I don't like about this LEGO set is I wish it was like on a hill or something, because if you look here, like in the Star Wars movies, when somebody gets dropped through this gate into the Rancor pit, so like I said, when somebody drops through the gate here, they drop into the Rancor pit. And obviously, as you can see, there's no Rancor pit. This is not a Rancor pit, this is my table. So this thing was not built for like a second level, which I'm disappointed in. I wish there was a Rancor pit attached to this, but there's not. I don't even think there's a Rancor pit in the original Jabba the Hutt Palace LEGO set, which is like $600 on Amazon now, so I'm not going for that thing. But anyway, even though it doesn't have the pit, it does have the function, so when somebody gets dropped into the pit, I don't know if it's going to move because it might be stuck right now, but when somebody gets dropped into the pit, the chair slides out. So that's pretty cool, it's right here, and if you move this out of the way, there's like Beskar and blasters down there. It's like a little storage unit. And there's like a little grill back there. That is in the show, so that's pretty cool. And then over here, I got like a little scene kind of set up with Bo-Katan and Cara Dune in like the cantina part of it. And then Bib Fortuna, since I didn't really want to make it look like he was dead in the LEGO set, because he does get shot by Boba, I just kind of chained him up to the top here on the gate. And then I got a Mandalorian kind of being a security guard here. And in the back, there's like a little kitchen area with one of the servants. I think servant? Maybe a dancer, I'm not sure. But I'm not going to close this up right now because it does close up, but I don't want to close it. And it's kind of cool. This is not a new LEGO set. I've had this for a while, but since, it's Boba Fett's palace now, I put the slave one in the back, which is really cool. But now over here, this is another one of my new ones. It is the Mandalorian's Naboo Starfighter, the new ship that he gets in the Book of Boba Fett, which there were a couple of Mandalorian-based episodes in that show. Save it for the Mandalorian, why don't you? Let it be more about Boba Fett. But it was cool to see the return of my favorite Star Wars character. So here you got the mechanic, Peli Motto, I think her name is, and her little droid, which is interesting. This droid looks a lot like the one in Jedi Fallen Order that I've seen with Cal Kestis. I haven't played that game yet, but I've seen previews and walkthroughs, and I'm really jealous that I don't have it. I wish I had it. And over here, the Grogu and the Mandalorian, who does have the first official LEGO Darksaber besides the one in Moff Gideon's Light Cruiser LEGO set, do go with this LEGO set. I just have them in Boba Fett's palace right now. But over here, you got where the Mandalorian sits, and then you got where Grogu sits, which I think this is going to go away in The Mandalorian Season 3. I think he's going to get a droid, which will be nice to see. Just kind of traditional. So this is a really cool LEGO set. I was happy to get this one too. I also got it for my birthday along with this one, so that's pretty nice. So now if you move back here, you guys, this is one I did not get for my birthday, but he was on clearance, and I've only ever seen him on Amazon, so I was lucky to find him in the store. It is the Combiner Dinobots, or the Dinobot Combiner, I should say, Volcanicus. And this is from one of the newer, more childish Transformers series on Netflix, but this one I had to get because, well, you don't know this about me. I love Transformers, and I love the Dinobots. That's so cool. I also love the Dragon Transformer Predaking, and what's really cool about this guy is this is the first Transformer that they've ever had combine into the big guy and still be able to transform into something else. This Transformer turns into a dragon. It's the Dinobots, and they turn into a dragon while they're combined. So that's like the best thing for me. I'm not going to transform it now, but because it will take too long for the video, but he does turn into a dragon, and his weapon is the tail, and it's really cool. It's got like a spring load action, so it makes it a little easier, but he's really cool, and I was happy to get him. This is actually armor for him, and it flips over. There's his head, so it's pretty cool, and it flips back over. So it's like a spring load action that's down by the hips. It releases it, so it's pretty cool. Then over here, I didn't get this for my birthday either. I got this in Michigan while I was at Walmart, and Walmart is kind of known for having really, really good clearance. And I got really lucky with this guy, guys. I found a talking plush Grogu in the bag, which I've been looking for. So yeah, I was really happy that I found this. He does talk, but I'm not going to try and dig his hand out right now to make him talk. The sounds sound a little strange. It's a little too staticky for my taste, so I just keep him silent most of the time. Keep him in the bag just for display, but the bag is going to be nice because I can add it to my Mandalorian Halloween costume, and I will finally have a full Mandalorian costume. It's going to look amazing if I ever get to put it together again. Now over here, this one obviously is probably one of the ones you guys are really wanting to see. I have, from my birthday, the Lego set of the famous painting by Vincent van Gogh, The Starry Night. And I got Van Gogh down here painting it. This came with the set, so this is pretty cool. It moves, but I keep him kind of here just because that seems like it's a good angle. That's also what it looks like on the box. But yeah, so this is amazingly detailed, and I built this whole thing, including the frame. I thought the frame was metal. I thought it just came with a metal frame, but turns out you got to build it, which makes it a little bit more fragile. If I ever drop this thing, I may have to hurt myself, you guys, because it took so long to finish, but it looks so good. The end result is amazing. I did screw up a little. This piece was supposed to be one level up on the background here, so it fits a little loosely the way I had it to make it still work the way it's supposed to, but it obviously it exceeded my expectations. This looks incredible, and this, in case you guys didn't know, this is what Van Gogh could see from the insane asylum when he was committed there. I can't remember if he was put there or if he went there himself because he thought he was crazy. I can't remember the story exactly, but this is what he could see from his asylum window, and he kept painting because painting was his life, and I am so happy they made a Lego set of this. My favorite part is the little buildings, like the little chapel here, like the little church. I love that so much, and there's even more to it. Like, this is so detailed, like it's every piece of the painting. It really does it justice. Like, it's amazing, and I built all these stars. Well, the stars, these are like little discs, and I just put pegs on them because that's how you build them. But like the star dust and the clouds and the sky, I built all of this. This is the big one. Like, I think it's supposed to be the moon, maybe with some stars in the background kind of combined into it, because that's what it looks like in the painting. But I did build that as well, except for this part. This is attached, but the rest of it I built. And the frame has an actual handle on the back to hook it onto a nail, but I am not hanging this on my wall because if the nail ever gives out or it gets too heavy and then the background breaks, it will fall, guys, and it will break, and I don't know if the Lego pieces will crack or if it'll just shatter. It'll take forever to find the pieces, one, and two, it will take forever to rebuild, and I just don't want to go through that, so I'm just going to try and find a shelf to put this on, but for right now, it looks so good just kind of standing here. There are pegs on the bottom to help it stand up. There's one right down there. I don't know if you can see it, but it's there. So it looks really cool. And the tree, I love putting the tree in because this is actually attached to it. Like, it's not attached, but I actually had to shove it in there. And like, for me, I love it when things go into Legos so smoothly. It's such a nice feeling. And over here, the Luke Skywalker minifigure that I showed you earlier with the Boba Fett Palace actually came with this one. This is one that I got for my birthday. So this is on Moff Gideon's light cruiser in The Mandalorian, and what it is it's the hallway battle that the Dark Troopers have with Luke Skywalker. So Luke Skywalker is supposed to come out of the elevator here. See, just like that. Oh, it's turning. So just like that, he comes out of there. This Boba Fett and this Mandalorian are from two separate sets. This Boba Fett's from the Slave 1 that I showed you guys earlier, and this Mandalorian is also from the Slave 1 set as well, but I put him in here since I'm using Luke Skywalker with the Boba Fett Palace. And Boba Fett and the Mandalorian are in this episode anyway, so it works. Okay, so anyway, guys, this is really cool. So there's like three mechanisms, because the elevator is one of them. But on this set, you can do this, makes him move. It looks really cool, because it looks like he's attacking the Mandalorian, and boom, he hits him. And if you could tell, the Mandalorian kind of moved there, because there's a disc right here that you can make him spin on. So it looks like they're fighting. I wish that the background went all the way through. I don't know why they did this giant hole here. It should have gone all the way through, just like these parts here. Because that's, the only open part should be this part here and this part right here, because then you can see it. But I don't know what's with that giant hole in the background. So anyway, guys, that is... What was that? I think that was my door. That's weird. That is what I got. That's my new merchandise so far. That's what I've gotten the last month, and that's pretty cool. So now what I'm going to show you is the YouTube clips from last month, and I hope you enjoy those, but that will be for the end. Before I go, I want to tell you guys, my next big event, I believe, is my upcoming Disney World trip in September. I am so excited to go back to Disney World because I love it there so much. I'm hoping that this time I get to go on Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind. I've heard a lot of good things about it. But I will be planning on vlogging a lot of my trip for you guys, and I cannot wait for you to see what I do, and I can't wait to see what I do when I go, because I have no idea what's going to happen. But I do plan on getting a new lightsaber, guys, and maybe the Loki Scepter. We'll see about that. But until then, please enjoy the YouTube clips from this last month, and until then, I'll see you real soon. Bye, guys. Alright guys, end credit scene, my sister and her mochi.
It's my life, it's now or never.
There's nothing a little music can't help. Rockin', rockin' and rollin'. Down to the beach I'm strolling. But the seagulls poke at my head, not fun. I said, seagulls, stop it now.
It just rained and this was the result. So amazing.
Okay. You're like a baby! Get off me!